Tuesday, 28th of April 2020. Today we are looking at dealing with remainders when we have divided. But before we get started on that, let's have a bit of a warm-up and remind ourselves about factors. Factors come in pairs. So, factors of 20 are 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. Always come in pairs, except if the number is a square number. This question says, every number with a factor of 10 must also have factors of 3 other numbers. So, pause the recording at the moment and have a go at this in your book for a few minutes, then come back and I'll explain how to work it out. Welcome back. So, every number with a factor of 10 must also have factors of. So let's write down some numbers which have a factor of 10. So obviously 10 has a factor of 10, 20 has a factor of 10, 30 has a factor of 10, 40 has a factor of 10, and if we jump a bit higher, 100 has a factor of 10. Jump even higher, 1000 has a factor of 10. The numbers which have a factor of 10 all end in 0. So we're thinking about numbers that end in 0. We're thinking about the factors of all numbers that end in 0. Well, obviously every number has the factor of 1. So let's put 1 in the box straight away. Now, what numbers are factors of 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 1000, apart from 1 or 10? Well, because they all end in 0, that means they are all even numbers. So they all have the factor of 2. And any number that has a factor of 10 must also have a factor of 5. So there's our answer. On to the division then. Now, if we remind ourselves of what we were doing yesterday when we were doing some guzzlings. So if we're doing 98 divided by 7, we've got 9 sweets on the table. How many times can we take 7 sweets away? Well, we can take 7 sweets away once. So let's put our 1 in there. And if we had 9 sweets to start with, and we took 7 sweets away, we're left with 2 sweets. And let's make that 2 smaller because that's got to go into the next box alongside the 8. We've now got 28 sweets on the table. How many times can we take 7 sweets away? 7, 14, 21, 28. We can take 7 sweets away 4 times. So 98 divided by 7 is 14. Nice and straightforward, no remainder. Now let's look at 99 divided by 7. So move it down a little bit. So 99 divided by 7, we've got 9 sweets on the table. How many times can we take 7 sweets away? We can take 7 sweets away once. Let's put that 1 in. And just like before, we've got 2 sweets left over. Make it a bit smaller. And drag that over in front of the 9. We've now got 29 sweets on the table. How many times can we take 7 sweets away? 7, 14, 21, 28. We can take 7 sweets away 4 times. This time though, we have got something left over. We have got 1 sweet left on the table. And we've got choices now about how we deal with that 1 sweet. The simplest way is to call it a remainder. So we would simply put rem 1, remainder 1 sweet. Let's just put that up in the right place. And that is one way of answering this question with a remainder. Let's just move that out the way for the moment. Put it over there. Another way of dealing with that remainder is to actually turn it into a decimal. So to turn it into a decimal, we need to put a decimal point in the question, so just there. We need to put a decimal point in the answer. Keep up, there it is, just there. And then we need to put a 0 after the decimal point in the question. And as a good habit, let's put 3 zeros in after the decimal point, which means that we can always round to the nearest hundredth. There we go. So now we've got 1 sweet left over. Let's put that 1 sweet, making it a bit smaller. Ooh, a bit too small, that one. In front of that 0 to make 10. So we've got 10 sweets on the table. How many times can we take 7 sweets away? We can take 7 sweets away once. And when we take 7 sweets away, we are left with 3 sweets on the table. Let's make it a bit smaller. We have now got 30 sweets on the table. How many times can we take 7 sweets away? 7, 14, 21, 28. We can take 7 sweets away 4 times. So let's put the 4 in. And when we take 7 sweets away, we are taking away 28 sweets. We have got 2 sweets left on the table. And so let's put that 2 in front of the 0. So we've now got 20 sweets on the table. And 7, 14, 21, we can't take away 3 lots, we can take away 2 lots. We've got something left over, but let's ignore that something left over for now, because what we want to actually do is round this to 2 decimal places. So what we need to do is put in a line. Let me put in a red line just to make it a bit easier. You can put a wiggly line. I'm putting in, oops, start again. I'm going to put in a red straight line, and we want to round to 2 decimal places. So we put the red wiggly line, or the wiggly line, after the 2nd decimal place. We look at the digit that comes after the line. Because that is less than 5, this 4 stays as it is. So our answer to 2 decimal places is 14.14. If you want to go over that again, all you need to do is just rewind the recording a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of all of that we've just done and look at it in the 3rd way. So first of all, we looked at it with a remainder. Then we've looked at it with a decimal. And now we're going to look at it as a fraction, which is really straightforward. Once we get rid of all of this, the decimal points. My laptop wants a holiday. Okay, so we had 1 left over, and that 1 that we had left over could be divided between 7, and each of those pieces would be 1 that we've got left over, oops, divided by that 7, so divided by, and then a 7, and this needs to be a little bit smaller, and that needs to be brought into here. So the answer could be 14 remainder 1, 14.14, or 14 1/7. So we can represent it as a remainder, or as a decimal, or as a mixed number with a fraction. So here are some questions to work through, and I'll put these on the Word document for you. Each of them has to be answered as a remainder. So 95 divided by 6, our answer with a remainder, and 368 divided by 3, our answer with a remainder, and so on. All of the questions answered with a remainder. All of the questions answered with a fraction, so our remainder over 6, our remainder over 3, our remainder over 8, and so on. And the ones with a blue star written as a remainder, as a fraction, and as a decimal, and the ones with a brown star written with a decimal to 2 decimal places. So with the brown star, you'll need to go to 3 decimal places and then round it. So the brown stars are the hardest ones, but everything from here onwards needs to be worked out as a decimal. All of them as a remainder, all of them as a fraction. That should keep you busy for a short time. I will put these as a Word document on the website, and I'll also put the answers on the website as well. So good luck, keep working hard.